Hello everybody and welcome to Storytime. My name is Dylan and today we're going to be enjoying some stories from the subreddit Tales from Retail. I hope you enjoy. I just wanted to call. This happened today and had me so confused. Background. I work in the e-commerce department of a well-known retail store. Basically, when people order their groceries off our website, we grab the things off the shelf, organise their order and load it into the car at our designated parking spots. Customers check in through an app or call us to let us know that we're here. We have a department cell phone that one person dispensing orders keeps on them. I had it at this time. I was outside finishing up another customer's order when a second car pulls up. I walk over to make sure he's checked in so I can find his order and get it to him. As soon as I walk up to him, he raises a finger and hushes me before I can speak. He has out a cell phone and I can already see where this is going. Me. Sir, can I check you in? There's no need to call since I have the phone anyways. Customer. Just let me call the number so I can get my groceries. At this point, the phone begins ringing in my pocket and he still has his finger up hushing me. Me. I have the phone so you'd be talking to me anyways. I just need your name so I can check you in. I grab the phone and show him his number coming through. I'd also like to mention that he's smoking a pipe and just casually blows the smoke in my direction. This is actually infuriatingly common. At this point, he's also looking visibly frustrated that no one is answering the phone. Customer. I just want to call. I thought calling was anonymous. What? More incomprehensible muttering and anger. At this point, I'm just silent waiting for him to hang up so that we can move on from this. He doesn't. He lets it go to voicemail. Looking back, I had the perfect opportunity to just answer and be a smartass, but I was too stunned in the moment to really do anything. I wish I could say anything else interesting happened after this, but it didn't. A co-worker came out with his order and I got his name and I went back inside. He should have answered the phone, stared him dead in the eye and told him, "Sorry sir, I'm helping another customer. Can you hold?" I had my first rude customer. Lady tells me how she wants her items bags after I fill up an entire bag. I've been working as a cashier for about 2 months at a small retail store. I finally had my first angry customer that I knew I was going to get someday. So today we were low on bags and we had to use as few as possible whilst we waited for the manager to arrive with more. I'm stocking in the general cashier area when a customer pulls up and I ask her if she's ready to pay. She doesn't respond and just pushes her cart over to the checkout area. I walk over to the register and start scanning her items. Again, we were low on bags, so not wanting to be wasteful, I try and fit as much as I can into each one of them. The lady notices this and just outright says, "Don't put anything else with the ornaments." I think to myself, okay, I'll just move this bag aside, continue scanning and bagging the other items, and I'll fix that bag afterwards like she wants it, since I wanted to make room on the belt for other customers that had showed up. I continue scanning and it's not even 10 seconds after her request she looks inside the bag and then says, "I just bloomin' told you not to put anything with the ornaments." At this point I get a smile on my face thinking, oh, it's finally happening. It would have been so nice to know how she wanted her bags itemed right before I filled up an entire bag, but I didn't say anything. I tell her that I will fix her bag once I'm done scanning everything, if that's okay. She ignores me and starts taking items out and fixing them herself, grunting and sighing every 3 seconds as if she's trying to make me feel bad. I bag everything, give her the total, and she pays. Still having a smile on my face and keeping cool, I give her the receipt and tell her to have a nice day. And at this point she's honestly starting to look like she's upset for not getting a reaction out of me. So I make sure to continue what I'm doing. Whilst moving her items, she dropped one on the counter and proceeds to yell, "Can I get a bag for that?" I happily pick up the item and put it into one of her bags. She gives me a terrible look and tells me that it fell out when she was fixing the mess that I made. I tell her I'm glad that everything is fixed now. Then she grumps one last time before turning around and walking out of the store. The other customers looked uncomfortable, but there were no further problems. It's not as sane as the other stories, but it was my first rude customer that looked at me like they hated me. I don't get offended that easily though, so any insults thrown at me affect me zero. I just hope I handled it well. Yeah, unfortunately she was just someone miserable looking to take it out on someone else. I hate those kind of people. Can I cut 2 people in line? This was a quick encounter, but priceless nonetheless. I was ringing up this customer who had all of her groceries on the belt. The guy after her had begun placing his stuff on the belt as it started moving. Me and the customer are chatting about some nonsense, my attention fully on her and the conversation. I hear, excuse me, coming from the back. I look at the second one in line, no, the third. Me, hi, yes? Third, holds her 2 items up. At this point, I'm trying to figure out what she's saying because I can tell she's from another country as I'm still ringing up my current customer. Me, you want to purchase or return these items? Third, I buy. Me, oh, okay, you're in the right line then. She makes a disappointing pout and then gestures I take her things. At this point, her, I'll say 8-year-old child chimes in with what she's suggesting. Child, she wants to buy these? Me, if she's suggesting I allow her to cut, that isn't my decision to make. She can ask the gentleman in front of her if she wants. Me and my current customer give each other looks, and I'm somehow embarrassed I was even part of this exchange. I understand there was probably a language barrier, but where is this even acceptable? The guy agrees to let her go ahead, and I apologise for putting the spotlight on him. He agreed that was a weird encounter. I don't know about you guys, but personally I would have told her to wait for her turn. I guess I just have a mean streak. I cannot do that, sir. It would be a breach of privacy. Obligatory info. I work in a department lead in a retail store that sells everything from home goods to apparel to groceries. We have a desk area on the sales floor that has a computer and a few other things there. The amount of people who think it's a register is kind of astounding, but that's not really the point of this story, even though that's how it began. I was standing at this computer with my scanner looking up stuff in our system to update out of stock in my department when a man came up. Me, hello, can I help you with anything today? Him, yes, I'd like to check out. Me, oh sorry, this isn't a register, but there's one over this way. I indicate the direction of the nearest register. Him, oh, okay, you know, my kid works here. Me, that's nice, it's a good job. I've been here a while. Who is that? I might know them. Him, name I don't know. Me, I don't know that person, but I'll keep an eye out for them and say hi if I see them. Him, you know, kid lives with me. I can't remember their phone number for their card. Can you look it up? He indicates the computer I'm at. Me, I'm sorry, I don't have access to other employees' phone numbers, and that isn't something we would be allowed to give to a customer, even if I did. Him, why not? They are my kid. Me, I cannot confirm that in any way. Him, I have ID. He starts to pull out his wallet. Me, I'm sorry, but I still wouldn't be able to confirm that that name is your child. Are they working today? You could find them and... Him, interrupting. No, you don't think I would have done that already? Me, I'm sorry. Him, I want to talk to a manager. Me, I am the acting manager on shift today. Him, I want a real manager. Yes, he said it like that. Me, the manager of my department is not in the store at the moment. I can call... Him, interrupting. You are not a manager. Points at my name tag. Your tag does not say manager. I want kid's phone number now. Me, I'm sorry, but I cannot do that, sir. It would be a breach of privacy. I can call... Him, interrupting. I'm kid's father. I want the number now. I just pulled my phone out and called another department's manager over while he was yelling this at me. Him, don't ignore me. Get off the phone. Me, into the phone. Hi, name. It's Queen Fanky 420 in department. I have a customer over here at location and he's asking to speak to a manager. My manager is on lunch and not in the store right now. Could you possibly come over? He's screaming at me the entire time and the other person says, what in the world? I can hear him over here without the phone. I'll be right there. Me into the phone. Thanks to the customer. Name is on our way to talk to you. Him. Why don't you just do your job and give me the goddamn phone number? I ignored the question. Name will be here in a moment to address that issue. He kept yelling at me and I repeated that line twice before the manager finally got there. I don't know what happened after that because they walked away together and I stayed there to complete my job. Update, I talked to my manager this morning. The kid does work there and the person was their father, but the kid doesn't live with his father and the father is a mentally ill, abusive, delusional man who isn't allowed contact with their said child or any other children. So, we were told if we see him again to call the MOD and the cops would be there. If I was the manager, I probably would have called security. I want it on my card. Oh wait. As a cashier, I process several refunds a day. I generally get some sketchy ones and some normal ones. There was one I've processed fairly recently that was beyond sketchy. Let me explain something first though. The company I work for processes returns by scanning a barcode that comes printed on the very bottom of every receipt. We scan the barcode, then the item, if it matches up with the receipt, and input the return price of said item. After the return is finished, you may purchase other items in exchange or get the negative amount back in whatever you paid with except checks. That's another story. Now this is what's really confusing. If you return an item at a different store in exchange for another item at the same store, but you go into an entirely different store to return that exchanged item, you're stacking returns. The money coming back on that second return will go on a gift card instead of what you paid with in the first exchange. Why the registers do this in this way, I'll never know. If you know, please enlighten me. Anyway, I had a guy give me a receipt for another store with a returned wheelchair on the top for $149.99. In exchange for this wheelchair, he bought a walker worth $129.99. Mind you, this exchange took place in an entirely different store. So he wanted to return the walker he just bought in an exchange. I said, okay, and processed it. As I mentioned earlier, whenever items are double stacked like this, the register forces us to put the difference back on a gift card regardless of what you used to pay before. He pulled the classic line, "Let me speak to your manager." I called a manager over and they were dumbfounded. They'd never heard of stacked returns before and tried voiding the whole transaction. The manager processed the entire thing the same way I did and didn't understand why the register did what it did. This guy kept insisting that we just put the difference back on his card. We kept saying no and he was getting angrier and sweatier. As soon as the manager mentioned he could use the gift card at any one of our other branches, he went, "Oh, can I? Cool, that works out then." And then he walks away with a gift card in hand, acting satisfied. I'm sorry, what? A manager mentions something that should probably be common knowledge based on how much he shops here, and the only thing that can satisfy him is a manager's decision? I wanted to punch a wall after that encounter. To me, it looks like that policy is an anti-laundering measure. It kind of makes sense, but it's ridiculous when you're in the moment. Our monthly customer at the supplement store. I thought about this story not long ago and really wanted to share a more wholesome retail story. I used to work at a small supplement store back when I first started college. We sold your usual vitamins, supplements, as well as protein powders, workout supplements, essential oils, medicine, that kind of stuff. We had this regular customer, let's call him Albert, who came into the store about once a week. He was an older, retired gentleman whose wife was kind of sickly. He'd come in every single month around the same time with a little red paper folder filled with pictures of the exact vitamins and medicines he would need to get for her. He'd show me a picture, we'd walk to where it was together and do that about 3 more times, then he'd pay, leave a little peppermint candy for every person working that day and leave. Then we'd see him the next month, just like clockwork. He liked to tell the staff stories about the places him and his wife had visited. He had no kids, so him and his wife travelled the world quite a bit over the years. I loved this customer, everything he did was just adorable. And we knew whenever Albert was going to grace us with his presence because this adorable tiny old man drove a sweet red Ferrari. Bless you, sir, we all need an Albert in our retail careers. I love wholesome stories like that. If you enjoyed, subscribe and leave a like down below, or click on screen right now and look at some of our other story videos. Thank you and goodbye for now.